Industrial robots are the heavy lifters of modern factories. Most are robotic arms fixed to the floor, built to repeat the same motion with extreme speed and accuracy. Motors move each joint, while sensors and computer programs tell the arm exactly where to go, what force to use, and when to stop. They weld car frames, paint parts, sort packages, and assemble electronics all day without getting tired. A surprising fact is that some factory robots can place tiny components more accurately than a human hand can, thousands of times per hour. Collaborative robots, often called cobots, are designed to work safely beside people instead of staying behind cages. They usually have lighter arms, rounded edges, and built-in sensors that detect contact, force, or nearby movement. If they bump into something unexpected, they slow down or stop. A worker might guide one by hand to teach it a task, like packing boxes or tightening screws. What makes cobots interesting is that small businesses can use them too, because many are easier to program than traditional factory robots and can switch jobs quickly. Mobile robots are robots that move through the world instead of staying in one place. Some roll on wheels, some use tracks, and a few walk on legs. They rely on cameras, laser scanners, maps, and software to figure out where they are and how to avoid obstacles. You can find them in warehouses carrying shelves, in hospitals delivering supplies, and in offices doing simple transport jobs. One interesting fact is that many warehouse robots do not just carry items to people, they actually bring entire shelving units to human workers to save time. Automated guided vehicles, or AGVs, are a common kind of mobile robot used mainly in factories and warehouses. Unlike freer-moving robots, AGVs usually follow a fixed route marked by tape, magnets, reflectors, or simple navigation beacons. Their computer controls speed, stopping, and turning, while sensors help prevent collisions. They are great for moving pallets, carts, or materials along predictable paths. A useful real-world fact is that AGVs have been around for decades, long before today's smarter warehouse robots, and they helped automate transport inside factories as early as the 1950s. Autonomous mobile robots, or AMRs, are more flexible cousins of AGVs. Instead of following a fixed path, they build or use a map of their surroundings and choose their own route around people, boxes, or other obstacles. They use sensors such as cameras and laser scanners, plus software that constantly updates where they are. That makes them useful in busy spaces like warehouses, hospitals, and labs, where routes change often. A surprising fact is that some AMRs can work together as a fleet, sharing traffic information so they avoid jams, much like tiny self-driving delivery vehicles. Service robots are built to help people outside traditional factories. This broad group includes hotel delivery robots, floor cleaning robots, hospital assistants, and even robots that inspect buildings. They usually combine movement, sensors, and a task tool, such as a vacuum, tray, camera, or screen. Their software helps them navigate spaces, interact with people, or perform a useful job safely. An interesting fact is that service robots are one of the fastest-growing robot groups because they can save time on repetitive work in places where human staff are often busy or in short supply. Domestic robots are service robots made for the home. The most familiar examples: vacuum floors, mop, clean pools, mow lawns, or help with simple home monitoring. They use sensors to detect walls, stairs, dirt, and furniture, then follow a programmed pattern or map to cover an area. Most are designed to be easy to use, with charging docks and automatic schedules. A fun fact is that robot vacuums changed how many people think about robots, because they became one of the first robot types millions of ordinary households actually bought and used every week. Medical robots assist doctors, nurses, and patients in hospitals and clinics. Some help during surgery, some move supplies, and others support rehabilitation or remote care. They work by combining precise mechanical movement with cameras, sensors, and software controlled by a human operator or a guided program. In surgery, a doctor usually stays in charge, while the robot translates hand movements into smaller, steadier actions. One surprising fact is that surgical robots do not replace surgeons. They are tools that can improve reach and precision in tight spaces inside the human body. Surgical robots are a specialized kind of medical robot used in operating rooms. They often have several thin arms holding tiny instruments and a camera. A surgeon sits at a control station and moves the tools with great precision, while the robot filters hand tremors and scales motions down to very small movements. This can help with delicate procedures through small openings instead of large cuts. An interesting real-world fact is that despite the name, these robots usually do not act alone at all. Every move is directed by a trained surgeon and a full medical team. Rehabilitation and assistive robots help people recover movement or perform daily tasks. Some are robotic exoskeletons worn on the body, while others are powered therapy devices or robotic arms mounted to a wheelchair. Motors provide support, and sensors track body position, pressure, or muscle signals, so the robot can respond to the user's movement. They are used in clinics and homes for walking practice, arm therapy, or extra independence. A remarkable fact is that some users can control assistive devices with very small muscle signals, even when visible movement is limited. Humanoid robots are built with a body shape that roughly resembles a person, often with a head, torso, arms, and legs. The idea is not just to look human, but to fit into spaces and tools designed for human bodies, like stairs, doors, and handles. They use many motors, balance sensors, cameras, and complex control software to stand, walk, grasp, and sometimes speak. A surprising fact is that making a robot walk like a person is extremely difficult, because human balance is so natural to us, but very hard to copy with machines. Android robots are a special kind of humanoid robot designed to look especially human in appearance, behavior, or facial expression. They may have realistic skin-like coverings, moving eyes, and faces driven by tiny motors to create expressions. Cameras, microphones, and speech systems let them interact with people in a more familiar way. Androids are often used in research, museums, or public demonstrations rather than heavy work. One interesting fact is that very human-looking robots can make some people uncomfortable, a reaction known as the uncanny valley, where almost human feels stranger than clearly machine-like. Educational robots are designed to help people learn coding, engineering, and problem-solving. They can be simple wheeled kits for children or advanced classroom platforms with sensors, cameras, and programmable arms. Students give commands, test ideas, and see how software changes real movement in the physical world. That makes abstract concepts more concrete and fun. A great real-world fact is that many future engineers first learn robotics not from giant factory machines, but from small classroom robots that teach them how sensors, motors, and logic work together step by step. Entertainment robots are built mainly to amuse, perform, or create memorable experiences. They appear as toy pets, dancing machines, theme park characters, stage performers, or interactive museum guides. These robots use movement, lights, sound, speech, and sometimes facial expressions to engage people emotionally. Some react to touch or voice, while others follow a scripted performance. A fun fact is that entertainment robots often influence public imagination more than practical robots do, because people are more likely to remember a robot dog, singer, or movie-like character than a warehouse machine. Social robots are designed to interact with people in ways that feel more personal and conversational. They may greet visitors, answer questions, lead activities, or provide companionship in schools, hospitals, or care homes. To do this, they combine microphones, cameras, screens, speech systems, and software that detects faces, voices, or simple emotions. Their main job is communication rather than physical labor. An interesting fact is that even very simple social robots can change human behavior, because people often speak politely to them and may treat them almost like living companions. Telepresence robots let a person be present in another place through a moving machine. They often look like a screen on a wheeled base, with a camera, microphone, speaker, and internet connection. A remote user logs in, drives the robot around, sees through its camera, and talks with people as if joining in person. They are useful in offices, hospitals, classrooms, and care settings. A surprising fact is that telepresence can feel more natural than a normal video call, because the remote person can move, turn, and choose where to look in real time. Agricultural robots help with farming tasks such as planting, weeding, spraying, harvesting, and monitoring crops. Some drive through fields on wheels, while others use robotic arms, cameras, and sensors to identify fruit, soil conditions, or unwanted weeds. Their software helps them make decisions based on what they see, like where to pick or where to apply treatment. This can save labor, reduce waste, and improve timing. One surprising fact is that some farm robots can target individual weeds instead of spraying an entire field, which may greatly cut chemical use. Delivery robots move food, groceries, medicine, or packages from one place to another, with little or no direct human control. Small sidewalk robots use wheels, cameras, GPS, and obstacle sensors to travel short distances, while indoor versions navigate hallways or campuses. They usually carry goods in a locked compartment that opens for the customer. Their software plans routes and avoids people, pets, and curbs. An interesting fact is that some delivery robots travel at walking speed on purpose because moving slowly makes them safer and better suited to crowded public spaces. Inspection robots are used to check places that are hard to reach, dangerous, or simply time-consuming for people. They may roll through pipes, climb structures, fly around bridges, or crawl inside industrial equipment. Cameras, lights, and sensors let them look for cracks, leaks, heat, rust, or other signs of trouble. The robot gathers data so workers can spot problems early without shutting everything down. A useful fact is that inspection robots are often valuable not because they repair anything themselves, but because finding a hidden problem early can prevent a huge failure later. Security and surveillance robots patrol areas and watch for unusual activity. They may move on wheels through offices, parking lots, warehouses, or campuses, using cameras, microphones, thermal sensors, and sometimes license plate readers. Their software helps detect motion, open doors, smoke, or people in restricted areas, then sends alerts to human staff. These robots extend awareness rather than replacing guards completely. An interesting fact is that some security robots can operate for long hours on routine patrols, handling the boring repetition while humans focus on decisions and emergency response. Military robots are used by armed forces for tasks such as scouting, bomb disposal, transport, and surveillance. Many are ground vehicles or drones controlled remotely, though some have increasing autonomy for navigation. They use cameras, sensors, radios, and rugged designs to operate in dangerous environments where sending a person would be risky. One well-known role is handling explosive devices from a distance. A striking fact is that some of the most important military robots are not weapon systems at all, but machines that save lives by checking threats before soldiers move in. Bomb disposal robots are specialized machines built to inspect and handle suspected explosives from a safe distance. They usually run on tracks for stability and have a camera mast plus a robotic arm with a gripper. An operator controls them remotely, using the cameras to examine the object and the arm to move, cut, or place tools near it. Their design keeps people farther away from danger. A real-world fact is that these robots are often used not only for bombs, but also for suspicious packages and hazardous situations, where simply taking a closer look is too risky. Aerial robots are flying robots, better known to many people as drones. They use spinning propellers or fixed wings to stay in the air, while onboard computers constantly adjust movement to keep them stable. Cameras, GPS, and other sensors help them navigate, film, inspect, map land, or deliver small items. Some are piloted by a person, while others can follow pre-planned routes. A surprising fact is that drones are now used in agriculture, disaster response, filmmaking, and construction, making them one of the most versatile robot types in everyday life. Underwater robots explore and work in lakes, rivers, and oceans where human diving is difficult, expensive, or dangerous. Some are tethered to a ship and controlled remotely, while others travel more independently. They use propellers, waterproof cameras, sonar, lights, and pressure-resistant bodies to move and sense their surroundings. These robots inspect pipelines, study sea life, map the seafloor, and help search for wrecks. An amazing fact is that underwater robots can go much deeper than most human divers, reaching parts of the ocean that remain largely unseen by people. Remotely operated underwater vehicles, or ROVs, are underwater robots connected to a ship or platform by a cable. That tether carries power and sends video and control signals back and forth. A pilot on the surface drives the robot while watching live camera feeds, and manipulator arms may let it grab tools or samples. ROVs are common in offshore energy work, marine science, and deep-sea exploration. An interesting fact is that many famous images of deep ocean creatures and shipwrecks were captured not by divers, but by tethered robots working far below the surface. Autonomous underwater vehicles, or AUVs, are underwater robots that travel without a tether for long stretches. Before a mission, they are given a route or goal. Then they use onboard computers, sensors, and batteries to navigate and collect data on their own. They may map the seafloor, measure water conditions, or search wide areas more efficiently than a tethered robot can. A surprising fact is that AUVs are especially useful under ice, where a cable would be impractical and human access can be extremely limited. Space robots work beyond Earth, where conditions are harsh and direct human presence is limited. This category includes robotic arms on spacecraft, planetary rovers, free-flying assistants, and landers with moving tools. They use cameras, sensors, motors, and carefully tested software to survive radiation, dust, temperature extremes, and communication delays. Space robots repair equipment, collect samples, and explore worlds humans have not reached in person. A remarkable fact is that some space robots must make local decisions by themselves because signals from Earth can take minutes, not seconds, to arrive. Planetary rovers are mobile space robots built to drive across the surface of planets or moons. They usually have 6 wheels, solar panels or a nuclear power source, cameras, and scientific tools for studying rocks, soil, and weather. Engineers send commands from Earth, and the rover carries them out while using onboard software to drive safely over rough ground. These robots turn distant worlds into places we can investigate in detail. An amazing fact is that Mars rovers have traveled for years far beyond their planned lifetimes, showing just how durable, well-designed robots can be. Exoskeleton robots are wearable machines that support or enhance human movement. They fit around the legs, arms, or full body and use motors, joints, and sensors to add strength or guide motion. Some help people relearn walking after injury, while others reduce strain for workers lifting heavy objects. The robot senses movement or pressure and then assists in the same direction. A surprising fact is that exoskeletons are not only for medicine or science fiction. Real versions are already being tested in warehouses, factories, and rehabilitation centers. Soft robots are made from flexible materials instead of mostly rigid metal parts. They may bend, squeeze, stretch, or inflate to move, which makes them useful for handling delicate objects or working safely around living things. Some use air pressure, others use special materials that change shape when stimulated. Because they are compliant, they can adapt to irregular surfaces better than hard machines. An interesting fact is that soft robotic grippers can pick up fragile items, like fruit, baked goods, or even sea creatures without crushing them. Swarm robots are groups of many simple robots that work together by following shared rules rather than relying on one central controller. Each robot may have limited ability on its own, but as a group they can explore an area, move objects, or search for targets more efficiently. They take inspiration from ants, bees, and other social animals. Sensors and wireless communication help them coordinate. A fascinating fact is that swarm systems can be more resilient than single large robots, because if one robot fails, the rest of the group can often keep going. Micro-robots are extremely small robots, sometimes tiny enough to fit on a fingertip. Because of their size, they are often used in research, medicine, or precision manufacturing rather than everyday household tasks. They may move using miniature motors, magnetic control, vibration, or special materials that respond to light or electricity. At very small scales, movement becomes tricky because forces behave differently than they do for larger machines. A surprising fact is that some experimental micro-robots are being developed to travel through tight spaces in the body for targeted medical treatment. Nanorobots are theoretical or experimental machines operating at an incredibly tiny scale, far smaller than micro-robots. In popular culture, they are often shown as medical miracle machines, but in reality, true fully functional nanorobots are still mostly a research goal rather than common technology. Scientists study nanoscale devices and particles that can move or respond in controlled ways using chemistry, magnetism, or light. An important fact is that many so-called nanorobot ideas today are better described as smart particles or molecular systems, not tiny mechanical robots with gears and arms.